All right, good morning YouTube. This is Nick with NK Landscaping again as usual. Today we're starting off in a little bit of a different setting. We got a project for a repeat client. Basically she texted us and said that she wants this. So I went and designed this. It's a basic rendering of kind of what she wanted using a different set of materials. You may remember this job from a while back. We built a retaining wall, and then they had the driveway paved, and then we put a railing on. We need to do a bunch of weird woodworking on this. We're not woodworkers, but we're gonna make it work. So first thing we got to do this morning is plane a bunch of materials, and then we're gonna be using the lathe to turn some dowel materials. We're trying to do everything at a pressure treated, just so it lasts a little longer. I know at this client's house, they're not huge on recurring maintenance, so we want to try to make anything we make for them really sturdy and long lasting. So here's the stock of lumber for this project. I need to get a hold of the 2x6s. We're basically going to be planing these down into 1x6s, plus this baluster here that we are going to turn down into a pressure treated dowel. So first side project number one, this is my grandfather's wood planer made by Sears Roebuck. It's actually not made by Sears, it's made by a different company for Sears, but it's a really nice heavy duty wood planer that runs on 220 volts. But I gotta address something. What is this? What's going on here?
Well, your grandfather made that.
Yeah, that doesn't look safe. Now I can plug this in 3 different locations in the shop. There's one there, one here, and one there, and I can run it on an extension cord, so I'm happy. Let's use this thing now. So I've got this thing outside in the driveway now because it makes a big mess. I have my 2x6s over there. We're gonna shave those down to 1x's. They're basically just gonna be sheathing to build a 4x4 up to what looks like a 6x6 because that's what her design calls for. So that's all that's left after we bagged all the shavings. Kurt, how many shavings were there?
Enough to make 2x6x8s.
Wow. So we basically in 1.5 garbage bags fit those 2x6x8s worth of wood. This is what we're left with. This is basically a 1x6 now with a nominal dimension of exactly 1 inch by 5.5 inches. When I did my math and calculations for this, for some reason my mind went to 2x6 when I wanted a 5.5 inch wide board that we could then plane down to 1 inch thickness. I don't know why I didn't just get a piece of decking, so drop a comment on how stupid you think I am. Kurt already was like, huh? This is a baluster for deck railings, and we need to turn this into a dowel because, like I said, they don't, as far as I know, I could be totally wrong on this, but at least near us, they do not sell pressure treated dowels, and we basically need to pin a 4x4 to a 4x6. You're not supposed to use metal lathes as wood lathes because metal and oil, wood and oil do not mix very well, but we did it anyway. So this is what we started with. It was much longer than this. And this is what we ended with. So that's an 1.125" dowel, and I'm going to make another one. But this will pin our 4x4 to our 6x6 with Gorilla Glue. So turned out really nice. Here you go. So here we are on site. You may remember this job. We didn't do the driveway, but we did everything else. Stairs, ready rock wall, guardrail, and a bunch of drainage through the driveway and in front of that garden. But what we're doing here today, 7-foot tall trellis. We're gonna use these 6x6 posts as posts. So those dowels we made will get drilled into each one of these, and a 4x4 will sit on top of that to get us up to 7 feet, and then 2 more 4x4s will get sunk into the ground right about there. They will get sheathed with those 1x to make them look like 6x6s, and then we will build up to our 7 feet. So I've been working on getting these main posts in place. So each one of these is doweled into the 6x6 with Gorilla Glue, and I got a strap pulling down on them to kind of clamp them in place for a little while. They've both been leveled and squared. That's what the top rod is for, just to hold them at an equidistant spacing as the bottom. Kurt's about done digging both post holes for our second set of 4x4s. We'll get those in the ground and concreted in place, and they'll get braced up against these guys so that they can dry overnight. Alright, so what we got going on, the lowers are now installed and braced. So we have our depth that we're shooting for and our same width, and then we squared everything up. That's a big mistake that we made early on in our construction career of not learning how to square things. We made that mistake once, and now we make sure we always make squares and not trapezoids, because it has happened. But anyway, we're going to get these poured in place with concrete, and then that's going to have to harden, of course, but at least this is all pretty sturdy. This is the hardest part. Now it's just kind of bolting stuff onto this thing. Just about wrapped up. We're just putting away our last little bit of tools here. Concrete is poured, and we can't do a whole lot more without that hardened, because that is the main structure of this. These are doweled in, and that provides some strength, but they don't have that strength in this direction. That's where those are going to come in handy. So until that all gets braced together, you know, I don't want to do that while it's wet. So anyway, it's basically the end of the day anyway, since we got a late start because of all the custom work. We'll be back tomorrow to basically get this thing built and looking like a trellis. I'm going to also have to bring a ladder. I didn't think about that today. So last couple of tools going away, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. All right, good morning, guys. We're back for day 2, and we're a little more organized. Brought out some sawhorses. We didn't have those yesterday. I don't know why we didn't bring them, but now we have all the wood sorted by most important to least important. This is the sheathing. That needs to get put on before we backfill these holes, because we want that to be below grade to look like a 6x6 is coming out of the ground. So those are going to get used first. then we can backfill. And then I have the decking that is going to run between these two posts to kind of encapsulate that in a little bit. It'll make sense once we start installing it. You'll see the vision come to life. We're basically working off one picture found on the internet, trying to mimic that. So let's get to it. So by no means are we carpenters. We do know how to do a basic level of this stuff, but I just wanted to talk tools for a second. This is a Harbor Freight miter saw stand. It's been very good to us. It works good. And this is the Milwaukee M18 compound sliding miter saw. And this thing is great. We've had this, like I said, for a number of years. It was very expensive when we bought it. It was probably $600. And for two young guys, that was a lot of money for us back then. But it's been a fantastic tool since then. Makes great cuts. I have a finishing blade on it here. My favorite part about this is this button right here. Turns on a light and it shines to show your exact cut, so it's very accurate and repeatable. I love it. So I'm gonna keep on cutting this sheathing wood. Kurt is getting it screwed into place. Give you an idea of exactly what that looks like. So you see here we have a 6x6 with this 4x4 right on top of it, and we have this lip. He's basically mimicking that with this wood. So we're gonna go all the way around, and that will mimic that the base of this post is a 6x6 and match this. It'll look really nice when it's done. So I'm getting ready to make the final cuts. These are the top posts that sit on top, and they have an angle cut on them to make them just look more aesthetically pleasing. Kurt just fell victim to a simple mistake. When you flip an object, the measurement, you know, you could see this was going this way. It's a good thing we didn't cut that, because we need to go this way. You see all the different colored pencil marks and everything. It's like artwork. So I'm going to make those cuts. I already cut the opposite side, and that'll join the cut, and we will have a nice angle. Kurt's going to work on getting the decking put on this side, and then I got to cut those two tall posts in the back. So Kurt has gone up there and he marked out where all of those 2x4s are going to go. That's just a decorative thing. It's like I said, we're just following the drawing. It's not exactly like the picture she sent us, but it's close enough. I gotta go up there and screw all those down. All right, guys, you want to see the finished product? I'm sure you do. So, from this design, this drawing, this idea, to real life. Now, like I said, it's not an exact replica, but it is really close. It is sturdy. It looks good. You should be able to hang planters, do anything you want. She eventually wants to get some stuff to grow up and over. And it's sturdy. It is tied in to the guardrail here. It's tied into the railing. I like it. It's tall. We shot for 7 feet. So I got lots of room above me. You never feel like you're gonna hit your head. It looks good from the bottom and the top. Awesome. So that's that for this one. I know this is totally different from what we're used to doing, but I mean, at the end of the day, aside from mowing, that's how our business started. A lot of the original stuff we were doing was like building docks, which is really weird, but we were doing that, and that's why we have all these weird woodworking tools and things and these skills. So it's kind of fun to go back and do something like this that uses those skills. Kurt's trying to be quiet, but the mic doesn't really care about the noise. While you're at it, go check out NK Garage.
Hey guys.
He's always got videos every week about tools, and
I do tools. So
he does a lot of tools. So
it'll,
check it out. And depending on what time it is, I don't even check my phone. We might be going to get a tool right now. So I will see you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. If not, that's cool with me too. And I'll be seeing you on the next one. See you guys.